All right, very good. So we are just going to go right into it. Happy Tuesday. Pathways, first thing back. Let's jump forward. September is the National Suicide Awareness Month. And so we are just in the kind of spirit of social emotional learning and kind of consciousness around that. Want to share some resources for you if you need any help. So, um, just a reminder for mental health: talk to a trusted adult. Talk about steps to feeling okay. Look out for resources, process feelings or situations. And there's also a text line for crisis services. If you text talk to 38255, that'll connect you with a mental health professional. We're going to post that on Google Classroom, so you don't have to write that down right now, but just know that there are people looking out for you. Our social emotional counselor, Miss Wynn, is available for any of your needs, and you can sign up in the counseling center. Keep in mind, you're not alone. Reach out if any of these following situations apply to you. So if you're feeling lonely, having trouble sleeping, struggling with acceptance for any reason, having suicidal or homicidal thoughts, or struggling with depression and anxiety, or having relationship issues. So reach out, share your concerns, and then you can make a plan together. So we've also got the talk to 38255 resource here for you. Again, we'll put that in Google Classroom. But just know if you're struggling that there are ways to get help. Okay, we are going to pivot now. We're jumping back into the topic of the Passion Project. So we are going to create a design brief. That is a project you're going to work on today and next Tuesday. Is really you got a little bit of time to work on this stage of the process of the design cycle. So what problem does your project aim to solve? So revisit your problem statement and your SMART goal that you were working on last week. Start mapping out your timeline. You're going to drop all this information into your hyperdoc that you're working on for the quarter, but think about major milestones. If you're building that electric bicycle, are what type of programming has to go into maybe the Raspberry Pi little chip? Or if you're learning how to play the guitar, at what point have you learned all the open chords or learned how to successfully do power chords or whatever it may be? Think about those sort of big accomplishments along the way so you can chunk this out. Just as we're doing with the hyperdoc and the design cycle, think about how you're chunking these things out. Okay. For your completion date, we are looking to wrap on this project around mid-April. I had a great question from a student via email last week, and they were asking about whether they could do two topics. And my advice would be, let's really focus in on one. I believe I'm going to mix this up. They were looking at cooking and I forget the other topic. Let's just say cooking and playing the guitar. They were concerned that they'd be kind of done with one and needed something that would span the whole year. Think about it like this. If you're playing the guitar and you learn how to strum a few chords and sing some, you know, basic pop songs, awesome. You could probably do that in about 25 hours of practice. You are not going to be Jimi Hendrix. You're not going to be one of the greatest guitar players of all time in 25 hours. So we got the 25-hour mark for practicing a skill or building something where you can do something pretty great, actually pretty cool. And then we've got the 10,000 hour rule where you become one of the greatest on the planet. We're not looking for you to do 10,000 hours. We're looking for you to do more towards the 25-hour type of thing. But if you're practicing cooking for 25 hours and you're done with that by December, Well, guess what? You got another 25 hours you can do by April, and you're going to be that much better. So think about the sort of levels of complexity there, where certainly you can also practice the guitar, but you don't want to spread yourself too thin. Of course, you can do more than one thing, but you want to think about kind of really focusing in on this project a little bit on one topic. So uh, think about those milestones of leveling up, as it were, getting that bonus level. How are you going to map this out throughout the week? Are you going to work on this from 6 to 8 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or really think about what's realistic for your schedule? And then that completion date, we are looking into April. So kind of map that out. And with the design cycle, note, nothing's ever done, right? We use the example of the car, a car from 1920, car from 1950, like they're getting better. And then you think about a car from today, no comparison. It's never ending, right? Resources needed. If you're going to build a computer, how much money is that going to cost? Where are you going to get that graphics card from? What tools do you need to successfully put this together, right? If you're, regardless of the nature of the project, maybe it's arts based, what materials might you need? And then think about that mentorship piece. Who has the expertise to help you in that? Who can, in this building or in our community, help you seek that out? And I'm more than happy to help you find those people that can help you with that. And then we talk about sort of the target audience. Are we talking about people who are excited about a certain culinary experience that you're providing, or a certain type of music, or the device? We talked about the electric bicycle, where you live just that far from school where it's going to be tough for you to bike to school every day, and you need that little extra boost. Is your target audience people who just struggle with their morning commute? So think about the skill or the product that you're creating, and who's that going to serve. So that is pretty much it for this morning. If you will, teachers, cursor's going on the wrong side there. If you have any questions, please throw those in into the chat, or feel free to unmute. And other than that, I'm going to be circulating, dropping into classrooms, saying hi to folks, helping with the conversations around sort of mapping out the project. Students, you are in the point where you are pretty much ready to start working on your project. So you should have, through this process, done some pretty extensive planning and research. And with this, if you want to just kind of map out your design brief and jump into the project, now is the time. We are not going to have a lot of new information next week. You're going to have today and next week to work on your design brief. So questions in the chat, please, or just unmute and let me know what's going on. And yeah, if you are all good, feel free to log off and just jump right in.
Mr. Brandt, I have a question about where it says completion date. You mentioned April. Is that the same date for everyone? Just April sometime, or?
Yeah, we gotta kind of map things out. I would love to, and I can't guarantee this, but in the past at other schools I've had where we had a big culminating event where there was a presentation, kind of like an expo, and everybody would show off their project. That was with far fewer, that was with about 120 students. I don't know how we're going to do that with 420 students, but I would really love to do that. We usually did that like the first week of May. So more or less with everybody, if you kind of shoot, we'll firm up dates here as we go, but we're shooting for pretty much, and mid to late April.
Okay, thank you.